Hello beautiful fashion designers, you're welcome to this channel. This is Bora of Bora Closet, and in my last video I made a tutorial on the basic hand stitches needed for sewing. So just as I was instructed to use hand to make some stitches back then, I was also instructed to make a complete dress using the hand needle. Today I'm going to be using these stitches to make a baby dress, to show you how to use the different stitches for sewing. And if this is what you're interested in knowing, please keep on watching. So I have this baby dress pattern cut out already, the front piece and the back pieces. I also have this organza that is about 3 yards long and is just the length I want for this dress. First, I'm going to be gathering this organza. I'm going to be using the running stitch to make gathers on this organza, like you see me doing. So you can use the running stitch to make gathers if you don't have a machine to use, or if the machine is busy. You can just take your needle and thread and use the running stitch to make your gathers. Just make sure that the stitches are not so big, make them tiny so the gathers will lay very well. So I'm done making the running stitches all over the edge of the organza, and I am just spreading the organza out. So right here I'm measuring the waist to be sure that what I have there is the exact measurement of the waist I need, with the zip allowance or the button allowance. Once I'm sure that that is the measurement I need, I'm going to knot the end of the thread so that it doesn't pull again. Now I can cut the thread. After that, I'm going to spread out the gathers in an even manner. So you spread out your gathers and make sure that one side is not more than the other. The gathers have to be even so that it does not get fuller on one side than the other. So this is the finished work. You can see how even the gathers look. None is fuller than the other. So I'm going to place this aside, and this is the upper part that I'll work on now. I'm going to be using the bias tape for the neck since I'm not adding lining. So you sew the bias tape around the neckline using the back stitch. We can't use a running stitch here because it's going to have spaces, but with the back stitch it's going to be closed. So you can use either the first method of the back stitch or the second method. Anyone that you would prefer is good for this. So you just place it around the neckline, and with your needle and thread you sew it all the way around the neckline for both the front and the back pieces. And when I was done, this is what I have. You can see the sewing, you can see the back stitch holding the bias tape to the neckline. So since we cannot leave the bias tape like that, we're going to be using the hemming stitch to tape down the bias tape on the neckline. So you're going to be flipping the bias tape over like this, and with your needle and thread you hem the bias tape all round. So with the hemming stitch you're going to secure the front and the back necklines with the bias tape, and this is the result of the hemming. You can see that the bias tape is already laying on the neckline properly. So using the back stitch again, I'm going to be joining the front shoulders and the back shoulders together, just like you see me doing. Actually use the back stitch more because it's the one used for joining. The running stitch will not perform this function because it will create spaces in between the stitches, but with the back stitch you have it closed up just as if you're using a machine. So this is what I have when I was done joining the shoulders. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to hold the darts. I already notched the dart place, which is 2.5 by 3 inches. So I'm going to be using the back stitch to also hold the dart. This is what I have when I was done joining the darts, as you can see on the screen. So the next thing is to make sure that the front and the back pieces lay on each other very well, and you're going to mark out the line you're going to use to join the front piece to the back piece on the side. So I'm marking 2.5 inches on both sides, and that is going to give me the 11 inches I want for this dress on the front and on the back, making 22 inches altogether for the bust part. Then the same thing I'm going to do for the waist. I also need the same 22 inches around the waistline, and that is 11 inches also. So I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches on both sides to achieve my 22 inches. So it is 22 inches for the bust and the waist. You know, babies don't have boobs, so that is why it is usually the same measurement for the bust side and the waist side. And I'm going to be using the back stitch again to join the two sides together, following the lines that I already made on the fabric. So when I was done joining, this is what I have joined both sides, and this is what I have right here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be joining the upper part to the down part, and to make sure that I don't miss the sewing line, I'm going to be pinning the two together using the office pins, and I'm going to be joining both together with the back stitch. When I was done, this is what I have on your screen. I already joined the upper part to the down part, and you can see how nice it's already looking. So far I have used the running stitch in doing the gathers, and I have used the back stitches in joining the sides, the dots, and the waist lines, and the hemming stitch I've also used for the neckline. You can use the overlocking stitch to secure the waistline where you have the two waistlines joined, so that the fabric will not pull out. And you can use the tacking stitch to secure the part where you have the opening, that is if you're not putting a zip. So if you want to put a button, you can just fold it and use the tacking stitch to hold it all the way down. Then on the two sides, then you can add your buttons and your buttonholes. You just make a buttonholes on each side and add your buttons on the other side. So you can use the buttonhole stitch to make the buttonholes look neat, and the satin stitch you can use to adjust your clothes. If you have an opening or a tear, you can use the satin stitch to just make it close up. So I have explained how to use all of these stitches on the fabric. If you're not putting buttons, you can go ahead to join it and add your zip to it, just as you can see me demonstrating. You just hold it up to 3 inches below the waistline, and then you add your zip from up till that 3 inches point. So if you're going to add your sleeve, this is where you're going to put it. And if you're not adding sleeve, if you want it to be armless, you can go ahead to use a bias tape to sew it round and tack it down or hem it. You can tack it down or hem it. So the same thing we did for the neckline, and that way you can have a harmless sleeve neatly done. Then for the down part, the tip, you can use the tacking stitch to hold it down, just like that. The tacking stitch will be the best for it. Oh my god, I love the dress already, and I like the color combination. I was actually skeptical at the beginning that are the two colors going to work out, and I like what I'm seeing already. So I'm just going to add a satin under it and find someone to give it to, because the organza is transparent, so I have to put something under it. I'll just gather a bridal satin and put under it to cover it up. So this is the end of this tutorial. If you like the tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and kindly click on the subscribe button if you are yet to. Thank you for staying till the end, and I hope to see you in another video. Stay good. Bye.